So content marketing is one of the most effective ways to really generate trust online and generate those high quality inbound leads. They come to you, they're ready to work with you, and they're very easy to convert. One of the biggest issues though I see with people in their content marketing is they just aren't consistent. They put so much effort into their content that it just becomes like absolutely impossible to actually maintain this consistently. Now, I tend to take the approach that, a piece of content is really only going to be so valuable, and putting in more and more and more effort to make that perfect piece of content is going to be at the sacrifice of habit. So one of the best things you can do is really just block out some time and come up with tons and tons of ideas and record them or smash them out or get them all done at once and schedule them for as long as you possibly can, 6 months to a year even. So really effective way to stay consistent, and that way you can focus on more important things, other ways to generate leads, or serving your business, serving your clients, actually running your business. So I want to give you today a bit of a background look into how I do my content marketing and basically free myself up to focus on more exciting things. So first things first is coming up with ideas. And what I recommend you do is anytime you can think of an idea, just have a sheet of paper or a spreadsheet or a document handy where you can just jot down ideas. Just mud map it. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just somewhere you can put them when they come to you. Keep it handy, keep it on your phone, wherever. Now, what you really need to do is allocate time, block out email, don't get distracted, don't do anything, and just spend the time to come up with ideas, map out what you're going to talk about. Definitely don't want to script it out if you're going to do videos. You just want to come up with talking points that you know well, so that you can talk naturally about it and you don't need to script it very heavily. So the first thing you want to do is just spend some time. I recommend just blocking out at least a day and coming up with ideas. List out all the ideas of all the different videos or bits of content that you want to make. Then also organize them where you need to record each of the different ones or what resources you need for each, so that when it does come time to actually recording or creating the content, you can do like for like. You can smash them all out in one go, and then say you're recording in another spot, you can go to that location and record a whole bunch. When you're in the zone, you're in that right mood, and you're in the right location, you're going to be a lot more efficient. So first thing you need to do, come up with ideas. Take the time, block out any other work that you have on for the day, get ahead of yourself, and take the time to come up with some ideas. All right, so now I'm all dressed up, and at this point in time, I've actually just gone through all my ideas. I've blocked out a day. The family were away for a day. It's a Sunday, so it's nice and quiet. I shouldn't be distracted by anything coming in. And I've actually recorded a whole bunch of videos, which should take me through for the next 6 months. Now, what's really important is, like I said previously, you want to build out a big list of ideas, heaps of ideas, and try and smash out as many as you can in one day or in one sitting whilst you're in that zone. And believe me, this is not easy work. Like it's the kind of work, it's awkward, it's a little bit uncomfortable, especially if you're not comfortable on camera or speaking or even creating content. But you want to try and do it once you're in that frame of mind. Now, what's really typical is you'll come up with a big list of ideas and you may only get through a quarter of them. As you start going through them and you're re-looking at some of these ideas, you realize they're not as good as you've initially thought, or they're just way too much effort. Like I come up with all these really grand, exciting ideas of, going to the beach and doing all this stuff. But ultimately, if it takes too long to record, it may, even just adding in one extra scene will essentially be 10 times the amount of extra work, and it probably isn't going to provide 10 times the extra results. So what's really typical is not to get too hung up on getting everything done. But yeah, and that's just super typical. You start to realize you can't do it all in one day, but just try and get a good amount done that's gonna keep you busy, keep your content marketing full for a long period of time. The other thing that's really important to consider, and this just comes with more practice, is to try to record everything in as little takes as possible. So try and get it all recorded in one clean take, purely because that makes the editing process so much easier. As soon as you do a couple of stuff ups or a couple of takes, you then actually have to go through and rewatch the whole thing, find out where the takes are, putting things together. Oh my God, editing is such a time-consuming and painful task, especially as soon as you have just a couple of takes that you need to edit. So do your best to try and get everything out in one take, even if there are a few bumbly bits. That's fine, that's quite natural. Like I said, you want to pick topics that you know really well and you can talk naturally about for a long period of time. So once you record everything, do your best to keep everything organized. And once you've done it all on that one day, get them all on the computer and then organize them so you know what each video is and what they correspond to. So it's gonna make your editing process so much easier. Truth is, you probably aren't gonna get time to do it all in one day. Just get your recording once you're in that zone all out of the way. And then later on when you have time, you can get to your editing. Now, I personally like to outsource that editing because it is very time consuming, and you can use things like Upwork to find good editors to do it for you. And the less takes you use, obviously the easier it is for them to do as well. So it moves from being recorded, it gets sent to an editor, and then it gets sent back to me, and then I send it to a copywriter to strip out and write all the different posting content that needs to go with it. Then it comes back to me, and then I give it to my VAs to post over the course of, say, 6 months. So I hope that gives you a bit of an idea of how you can be far more efficient with your content marketing and build not just a more efficient, but a better leverage and a better return on investment on what you're doing. So I just want to share my process with you to hopefully give you some ideas and a bit of incentive to start building your content marketing strategy, because it is super powerful and it's gonna really help you build those powerful, high value inbound leads. As always, I'm Ryan Caswell from b2bleads.com, and have a great day. Cheers. Just for a change, I'm not gonna ask you to like and subscribe. In fact, I don't even really want you to like and subscribe. See you next time. Cheers.